Hey loves, and welcome back to another video. So I would like to pose you all a question. What is the main thing you think you have to miss out on when going gluten-free? I'll wait while you write it down in the comment section below. Give you a few seconds. All right, time's up. Bread. Bread is the number one thing you have to give up when going gluten-free. So that means no sandwiches, that means no French toast, that means no Texas Roadhouse dinner rolls. I think that's the one that hits me here the worst. But I digress. When I was perusing in my grocery store in the gluten-free section, I came across this King Arthur gluten-free flour blend. Now, that in itself is not that special, but on the back of it, there's a gluten-free sandwich bread recipe. And I said, oh my goodness, this will be a perfect taste test and recipe test to do with my subscribers. So that's exactly what we're doing today. You and I are going to make this recipe for the first time on camera and see if it's worth all of the lunch meat that I just bought in my fridge. So if you're interested in seeing how this turns out, just keep on watching. Alright, so I printed out the recipe on paper so that it would be easier for me to manage while I'm trying to try this recipe out for the first time. But I did want to go through the ingredients list with you all just in case it turns out good and you guys want to make it at home yourselves. So I have, in no particular order, the instant yeast, softened butter, eggs, all-purpose flour, salt, sugar, xanthan gum, and last but not least, milk. I'm using oat milk. I do not use dairy milk. It does not cooperate with my body, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother video. But I'm going to measure out everything. I like to be a little bit cautious, especially for a first time recipe. All right, so I have everything here that I'll need to portion out all of the ingredients. I have my, what I'm calling a catch bowl. So if there's anything that kind of comes off the top, it will fall into this bowl and not all over my kitchen, creating a huge mess, which I'm sometimes prone to do. And then I have my measuring cups here. You know, comment down below if you're today years old finding out that this is supposed to be for liquids and that these are supposed to be for dry goods, because I kind of just use whatever is clean, but you know, we're trying to do everything accurately here. And then I also have my butter knife so that I can just scrape off the top. We're just going to pour this in. See, this is exactly what I needed this catch bowl. Tablespoons of soft butter. I went along last night and just cut this off, but the 4 tablespoons are right here. If you can see them, they're measured off in the side. So it's already soft. I left it out overnight in some aluminum foil. So we don't need to do that. And then 3 large eggs. So I just took the eggs out of the carton and I just put them whole in here. All right, so I have you here at my stove. It does say that we need warmer milk. So I said maybe we should just warm this up on the stove while I'm combining the rest of the ingredients on simmer. So the instructions say to place the flour, the sugar, the yeast, the salt, and the xanthan gum in a bowl or the bowl of your stand mixer and then mix until combined. So let's do that. Instructions 2 says using an electric mixer, hand mixer, or stand, drizzle in the milk, beating all the time. The mixture will be crumbly at first, but once all the milk is added, it'll come together. All right, so let's do that. All right, so I've already added all the milk in and it is still crumbly as you can see here on the screen. But we're just going to keep going like nothing happened. So it says add the butter and beat until thoroughly blended. All right. Okay. And it is still crumbly, as you can still see here. But it says, beat in the eggs one at a time, beating each in thoroughly before adding the next. Scrape the bottom and sides of the bowl, then beat at high speed for 3 minutes to make a very smooth, thick batter. All right, so one thing I like to do is crack my eggs into the measuring cup just because I do not want to get any cracks in the batter. So we're just going to do that for a precaution. I don't think that's supposed to be happening. Oh man, do you see that? Oh my goodness. And it says I'm supposed to beat this for 3 minutes on high. So I'm hoping that this doesn't keep happening. All right, so cover the bowl and let the thick batter rise for 1 hour. All right. So I guess I'll see you guys in 1 hour. I'm going to cover this with plastic. And then we're just gonna, it doesn't say that we need to stick it inside of a warm place. It just says cover it and let it rise for 1 hour. So I'm just gonna let it rise with some plastic wrap and we will be back in just a second. Okay, so it's been an hour and we're gonna move on to the next step. So I think it looks different. I guess you could say it doubled in size, but I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll try to insert a before and after to see if it actually gained any height since then. But the next step says scrape down the bottom and sides of the bowl, gently deflating the batter in the process. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, it is different. Oh, can you see that? Do y'all see that? It's different. Okay. All right. Now, I think that that's all I need to do. I don't want to deflate it too much, right? So it says grease your pan. So I have this pan right here that I'm going to be using. I want to just grease that up. It looks like fluffy and airy. That's kind of like how it looks. It looks like it has like a whole bunch of little bubbles in it. Oh, maybe that's the way it's supposed to look though. Listen, we're just assuming I'm doing this correctly. I'm not an expert, but I'm just a gluten-free girl trying to make some bread. Yeah, that's a lot better. It's easier to do it this way. Wet fingers for the win. So I just finished washing my hands and now it says the next step is to cover with a greased plastic wrap and set it in a warm place to rise until the loaf barely crowns above the rim. Okay, so this is how it looks right now. Hopefully that stays the way it's supposed to be. So I'm assuming they're saying just take your spray and grease the plastic wrap and then put it on top. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So one thing I did do before the video started and before the countdown started, I did preheat my oven to the lowest setting that it could go to. And for me, that was 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So I've already turned it off just to create a little bit of warmth because I'm in Maryland, so it's freezing everywhere. And even though I have the heat on in my house, I'm not sure if that's warm enough. So I'm just going to stick this inside of the oven so it's just barely warm. I could literally touch it with my hand. And I'm going to set the timer. It says it'll take about 45 to 60 minutes. So I'm just going to do 60 minutes. And then after that, it's going to be time to actually bake it. So I will see you guys once that's finished rising in 3, 2. Y'all, oh my goodness. Y'all. Ah! Do you see this? Oh Oh my gosh, it actually rolls. I am so excited. Okay, all right. Y'all are excited too, right? Y'all jumping up and down. Oh man. Okay, so the last step is to just put it in the oven. So I already have it preheated at 350 and it says to bake the bread for 38 to 42 minutes until golden brown. So I believe I'm supposed to take, I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna pop it in there just like that. Wow. It looks like so uneven, but it looks like it's gonna be good. I'm so excited. All right. I'm gonna put this in the oven 38 to 42 minutes and then I will see you guys when it comes out. All right, so I have gotten the bread out of the oven and I let it cool. I cut it even, as you can see here. Took a couple of photos and now it is time to try it out. So I have my ingredients to make my sandwich and we're going to do that. One thing I will say about this bread is that it is very, I'm gonna show you up close, of course. I would say that it is very short, I guess you could say. It's not all that tall. Kind of like if you compare it to other sandwich breads, it'd be like double the size basically, but we'll see. The taste is what matters. Maybe I just used the wrong bread pan. We will see. There we go. Ooh. See that? It browned really nicely. So the moment we've all been waiting for, the taste test. So we'll just dig in. I think I cut it a little too thick, which I think I mentioned before. But it's warm, it's moist. It doesn't taste gritty or weird. Let me just try just a piece of the bread by itself. I don't like the end pieces. I'm gonna cut off another. I don't like the end pieces. It does smell a little funny. I would say it tastes good though. I would probably put it in the oven a little less longer, so I ended up putting it in there for 40 minutes total instead of 38 or 42. I think I would stick to the 38 in the size pan that I have. The edges are a little bit too hard for me. I mean, that was good. I feel like I need to get a professional taste tester in here, so hold on. Alright, so I have just like a piece of just the bread and then I have a piece of the sandwich.
Okay. Alright. Let's see what we got. I like it.
Do you really?
Yeah, it reminds me of there's like a restaurant bread that's like this. I don't know what type it's called, but it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it tastes light too. For a sandwich, it's a little thick. So you're getting a lot of bread with it, but it tastes good.
All right, loves, that's it for today's video. So my final verdicts are that I think it's worth trying and I think it's worth tasting. So if you're looking for the height when it comes to sandwich bread, that's definitely not what it's going to give you. As you can see, it's really short here. It does have a slightly strange smell, but it tastes really good. And I would just keep an eye on how long you cook it in the oven, because if you like the crust and you like your crust to be hard on your sandwiches, then you might love it. But if you like them to be a little softer like I do, then I would have cooked it a little bit less in the oven. But other than that, I think it's a success. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and like, comment, love, subscribe for more. I'll see you in next week's video. Bye. Read raw. Nasty. But